Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Divine Truth Tarot. So thank you so much for your overwhelming support. We've reached 10,000, actually 10,000 plus subscribers, and I am over the moon about that. That was a really exciting accomplishment for the channel. So thank you so much. And for all of you who have been supporting me here and or over on Patreon, I thank you so very much. There will be a Patreon video coming out this week. So a Patreon only video that I'm going to be doing as an update to what the hell is going on. There is so much to share. The last 2.5 to 3 weeks have been extremely challenging in terms of the physical sensations and physical symptoms. And a lot of what's going on are spirit babies, which was something that I once thought was absolutely ludicrous and crazy until you experience it. So you can actually experience the signs and symptoms of pregnancy without being pregnant. And you can have food cravings, belly swelling, breast swelling. You can have, the heartburn, the acid reflux. You can sort of like, you can feel as though you're going through the sensations of pregnancy. And even though I haven't been pregnant yet, I know what that feels like because I'm a woman and I can just feel it and I know. And I've talked to friends and family who have given birth and they said that's exactly what the first trimester of pregnancy feels like. These spirit babies are not meant to be conceived in the natural way, obviously. They are here for Gaia, to assist Mother Gaia in her awakening and her ascension. So they need to be released. They're not meant to be contained within your body. They need to be released. They can be extremely, extremely debilitatingly, they can make you weak. They can make you fatigued. They can take all your energy. So we really need to focus on what to do when there's a spirit baby. And I have some ladies that I want to bring on to assist you with that. Ariana is one of them. I introduced her when I was in Atlanta in February when I went to visit her. So she wants to come on and talk to you guys about spirit babies and what that means. And we're going to be talking about that in more depth, hopefully later this month. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of water here. That's not my throat chakra. I actually choked on something right before I did this video. I was eating a bar and forgot how to swallow, forgot how to chew. But I'm going to be talking in more detail on Patreon about what is going on with the current ascension and upgrades. And as you guys know, I did upload a written reading yesterday that was a channeled message about the divine masculine awakening. And this is very important because as the feminine, I really channel at this point in time for feminines who have walked away. And even if you've walked away and come back together with your masculine, at some point you initiated that separation for the higher and greater good of you, your counterpart, your connection, and of course, Gaia and the whole entire collective. So I'm really talking to those connections or speaking to those connections that have endured some sort of a separation and then potentially a coming back together. And you guys will know that even if you're not physically together yet, that it's just taking time to catch up with what's actually happening in the astral realms. So you are already connected to your counterpart, even if you don't want to be on this journey, right? Am I right? You can be as independent as possible, be living your own life, be completely happy, content, and enjoy, which is exactly where you should be, divine feminine. And you can still feel that connection to your divine masculine. So rather than let that be maddening, allow and surrender to it, but continue to live your life, continue to be in your power. And we're going to look into what's going on because we're one day away from this. No, actually, we're not. We are. Let me just double check. We are on the new moon in Aries. So ironically, those of you who have felt extremely fatigued between the full moon, right, in the time frame from the full moon, which was 2 weeks ago, to this new moon in Aries, you may actually feel a lifting of your energy or lifting of the, anxiety, depression, sadness, heaviness, etc. And you may actually start to feel much, much better. I know that's the case for me. So thank God, because those 3 weeks were brutal. It was like the week leading up to the full moon. And then it was also this time frame in between the full moon and new moon where sort of like we were in some energetic limbo. And we were preparing for this new moon. It's a fresh start. It's the spring equinox. It's Aries season. It's the firstborn of the zodiac. It's fresh starts, new beginnings all over the place. And even the readings are reflecting that. If you guys have been keeping up and following with the readings I've been doing, they're all reflecting the new beginnings and the spring energy. So a lot of you are feeling like, I feel this new beginning, where is it? And I want you to look around in your life and recognize how far you've come and give yourself and your counterpart more credit. Just because the physical hasn't yet caught up doesn't mean there aren't changes. Last year, I experienced basically almost complete separation for the majority of the year. But I knew what was going on in my counterpart's life, and every single thing that I was feeling, was recently confirmed by him in the physical. So everything that I knew, okay? And like I've said, you know, these masculines are getting divorces, they're getting separated, they're moving locations, they're moving homes, they're starting new, they're beginning new jobs, they lost jobs. They are completely starting over in every aspect. So don't expect your masculine to necessarily come forward right away just because they're now single. These masculines are still going through a death and rebirth process. They're still figuring out who and what they are and what this journey is all about, but they're no longer in fear about it. Not the group that I'm picking up on anyway. Maybe the newly awakened masculines, but these masculines that have been on it for a while, yeah. Okay, so what have they been doing? They've been healing from the heartbreak. They've been healing from the divorce. They've been healing from the loss of the old life, right? Three of Swords is heartbreak. It's sometimes betrayal. Sometimes it can indicate deception, but more so heartbreak, more so heartache. Great sadness, take time to heal, the need to forgive yourself or others. So that's what they've been doing. They've been doing their Ho'oponopono without even necessarily realizing it was Ho'oponopono. They've been forgiving themselves, they've been forgiving others, forgiving their ex or exes, forgiving you, forgiving their parents. And they've really come to terms with the choices that they've made in this life that have brought them to where they are right now today. And that includes where they are in their connection with you. The Chariot continues to come out for the masculine energy as if to say, I'm on my way, right? Archangel Metatron speaks to us about divine timing and the need to necessitate patience, the need to incorporate patience, the need to accept patience, the need to accept things as they are in order to allow things to come forward. So the masculines have reached an important milestone. The Chariot tells us there's a milestone that's been achieved, and it's really taken a lot of willpower. It's taken a lot of self-control and self-discipline to get here. So them healing from this pain, right? This heartbreak. And guys, you have to understand, be compassionate, because even if they were with a karmic partner and they weren't happy, it's still the dissolution of a marriage or a relationship. They may have shared, many of them shared children with this person, a life with this person, a business with this person, whatever. And so it's years and years or decades of a life that they're now saying goodbye to. And even though they're excited, they're probably hiding from you the pain and the sadness that they're feeling walking away from this connection. I do feel like they're sort of hiding in the shadows, and they're not wanting, they don't want you to worry about them. They still have that ego where they want to appear strong and they want to appear in their power because you're so much in your power. And little do they know that if they came to you and cried on your shoulder and were vulnerable, that you would love them even more, right? Or just as much. You wouldn't take that as weakness, you take that as strength because you're a healed divine feminine. You're not a karmic partner who would laugh in their face or who would brush them off or call them weak, right? And so I really think they're in this cycle where there's still learning to be done in regards to expressing themselves honestly and authentically without fear of persecution from others. And this is what they're healing from, and with those karmic partners who weren't able to be affectionate or intimate or compassionate or empathetic towards them with what they were going through. So it required a lot of willpower for them to walk away. It's requiring willpower and strength for them to heal. But the masculines are healing. The masculines are healing. They're in this healing cycle. Kind of like, after the Three of Swords, right? We have the Four of Swords. We have a period of rest and retreat. So that's where they're headed, or where they are at this time following this heartbreak. So if they haven't come forward immediately right away, and many of you can attest to this, myself included, okay, the masculines who have gone through these divorces, these relationship endings, okay, they don't come forward to you necessarily right away. Some may, but then we have to ask ourselves, is that a healthy connection, or is that further codependency, right? Am I aiding the codependency in our connection? Anybody who's been through a marriage or been through a long-term relationship is going to need time to heal. Even if their soulmate, the love of their life, their twin flame, their divine counterpart is waiting for them on the other side of that heartbreak and healing, they still have to go through that healing. And so we give them the space to heal, knowing that they are making their way towards us. This is like an energetic chariot that will eventually be translated into a physical chariot moving forward to the feminine. So Spirit, tell me more about this Three of Swords for the masculines. Yeah. This is an ending that is creating or allowing space for, or providing space for this new beginning. So it's so interesting to see that, yes, something had to end, but this healing has to happen to make room or make space for this new beginning, this emotional new beginning in love, where this connection is reopened between the two of you. This connection is revitalized, is re-energized. And it's going to be a healthier connection where the masculine is actually able to be more authentically open, where he's not going to be pretending that he's okay when he's not, where he's not going to be holding back. He's going to speak his truth. If something disappoints him, right, if you do something that disappoints him, this masculine, this healed masculine is going to tell you, I'm not okay with that. When he feels an overwhelming amount of love for you, he's going to find his way, his love language of expressing that to you. So for those of you, which is probably all of us, whose masculines weren't able to be expressive or held back their emotions, that is definitely going to change. But you have to allow them this time to heal. And that means, for some of us, just giving them the space and the time without questioning, without reaching out, without needing to know when or why or how. So that, to me, is a true testament to the strength of the divine feminine, to the courage of the divine feminine, to the commitment and faith of the divine feminine to be told in the physical no, and then to continue moving on her journey and not waiting, not holding out for the masculine, but knowing that as she moves along in her life, he will catch up. And I want you guys, I have to stress this because I'm actually being called to do a physical move to another state. And my counterpart knows nothing about this in the physical world. I'm guessing he knows about this in the energetic connection because it's pretty strong between us right now. But the physical world, I won't be telling him, I won't be asking him, permission. I'm just going to do it. And the old version of me, let's say from 20 years ago, or even 15 years ago, or maybe even, I don't think 10 years ago, but definitely in my 20s, I would have waited and held out. Well, he's going to come for me, and I'm going to wait for him, or I'm going to move where he goes. No, the healed, that was an unhealed version of me. The healed divine feminine knows, I go, I take the job, I take the risk, I take the leap of faith, I move states or countries or whatever I need to do. And many of you have done that, and I applaud you for that because it takes strength and courage and fearlessness. Knowing that you're divine masculine, that you are the light, you are the beacon of light, and where you go, he will follow. So understand that he has no choice but to follow you. So leave that fear behind that tells you that you're going to lose him forever if you follow your heart or if you follow your path. This is a brand new version of your connection that's going to sprout from the healing that the masculine is doing. This is an important component of this journey. Do not push him. Do not question him. Do not take it personally. And continue moving forward with your life, feminine. The masculine wants you to move forward with your life. He will catch up to you in true divine timing, whatever that is for you and your connection. Keep an open heart, okay? The Ace of Cups, a new beginning in love. Keep an open heart. If your heart is closed, you may need to do some energetic work there to open up that space so that your counterpart feels safe to come in, even if he's fucked up a million times, even if you fucked up a million times, even if there's been disagreements, misunderstandings, and everything that happens in a twin flame connection because you are mirror souls. Keep that open heart, because if you're holding on to resentment or unforgiveness, there's no space for that new beginning. Okay, so awaken the heart, open the heart, trust in the oneness of your connection. Trust in your connection to source, your connection to God, more than first and foremost. You know, these connections are godly connections. They are seen and viewed through the eyes of God. Trust. What's coming up for the feminine with this new moon in Aries? What is the advice for the feminine for this new moon in Aries, Spirit? You're very close to achieving your goal. So basically it's that Nine of Wands energy. Don't give up. You're so close to achieving your goal. Don't give up now, right? Don't throw in the towel now. You're in the 11th hour. This is not the time to give up. This is the time to keep going. And understand that even if you, this is like, to me, says, even if you can't see the results of your hard work and your efforts, that they are in fact paying off. Your commitment is being tested. That's, what did I just say? I love it when the cards reflect the truth and reflect what I've just said, because to me, that's further validation and confirmation for any naysayers out there. And I know you guys are out there. We've all been there on this journey. Thank you for the dislikes as well as the likes, because those also help my channel grow. So thank you so much. And thank you to the haters who either don't understand this journey, think it's codependent, think it's toxic or whatever. You guys, you know, we need the shadow and the light. And so even though I refuse to engage with those energies any longer, I do appreciate that, because all of that helps the channel grow, and it just helps the twins to grow stronger in their conviction for their counterpart and for this journey, for the planet, for the ascension of Mother Gaia, and it just helps the light to grow stronger and stronger. So thank you so much. And so we have your commitment is being tested. So I just spoke about that, feminines. You know, this is a true testament, this period right now where nothing is necessarily happening in the physical. And I'm speaking to all twins, even if you're in some sort of a reunion or union. Very few are in an actual union, but you may be in a reunion. You may be leading up towards union. Union is not we're living together, we're engaged, we're married. Those are 3D physical descriptives that don't necessarily indicate a full union has been achieved. Have you reached full inner union? That would be indicative of I am in full union. But if you're just living together, that could be a form of reunion. That's a coming together. That's a start. It's a fresh start. It's this Ace of Cups, but doesn't necessarily mean that you're in that full union energy. So just want to make that clear. And that just means that, you know, and I want to say also to those of you who are like, man, I've been in, I'm watching people come into reunion. I'm watching people reunite and have communication, or they're, you know, they're getting this commitment, this is a commitment energy from their masculines. Why am I still stuck here in separation? I can tell you, I've received dozens of emails from people telling me, just because we're living with our counterpart, we're married or engaged, does not make it easier. The work is still being done. You're just doing it together under the same roof or in actual physical relationship. It does not make it any easier. So I want you guys to not think the grass is greener. Wherever you are, water that grass, because you're being tested either way. Those of you who, and I know you can vouch, so drop a like for this. Those of you who are living with your counterpart in a reunion cycle, are in a committed relationship, you know what I'm talking about. The triggers are still there. You're just having to work through them together. So some of us have chosen to work through them together, and some of us have chosen at this time to work through them separately. I know that for me personally, I had to go through a period of separation with my counterpart because I needed to work on things myself. I needed to really get and fully step into my independence and to really trust that I was able to create the life that I desired before I invite anyone else in, him or anyone, a soulmate, anybody in. That I have to get to this level where I am so happy and joyful and content and fulfilled in my own life with my family, my friends, my pets, my work, my clients, my mission, that he is just literally a bonus. And that is easier said than done because this is the love of all of your lifetimes. Your commitment is being tested. How committed are you to yourself? How committed are you to your growth? How committed are you to your inner union? Everything follows inner union. I cannot stress that enough. If you are not in inner union, you will not come into outer union. As within, so without, as above, so below. So I really want the feminines to understand that if you're striving for external union and you haven't worked on inner union, you're going about it backwards. You're gonna achieve backward results. Okay, so let's take a look here for the masculines. What is this moon bringing the masculine energy? Your hard work is paying off. Yes, the masculines are doing some hard work. They are healing their hearts. They're healing their lives, is what I just heard. They're healing not only their hearts, but their lives. Their entire lives have been, look, guys, they're no longer, most of them are no longer in this dark night of the soul energy. They've graduated from that. They've gone through some ego deaths, some very dark nights of the soul. They went from blaming you, blaming everyone else, blaming themselves, feeling ashamed, feeling guilty. Now they're just now their hearts are opening because they've gone through all the other emotions, and the only thing that's left is for them to really get right with themselves and for them to really be honest with themselves. And they're starting to see the dividends of their hard work paying off. And look, you guys are mirroring each other in this. You're very close to achieving your goal, feminine, and the masculine got your hard work is paying off. So we have this very earthy energy in Capricorn for the masculine surrounding this Aries new moon. And the feminines are like, I know I'm being tested again. But you have to trust what you can't see. You have to trust. And that's what makes this connection so very distinct and different from every other connection out there. The soulmate connection, you don't typically go through separations. You're just in this sort of blissful little cocoon bubble. And you typically are happy and content, and there may not even be a lot of fighting. There may not be a lot of adjustments. But in a twin flame connection, guess what? Adjustments are needed. So this is for the union energy. So let's get a clarifier. Spirit, tell me more about this adjustments are needed card for the union energy. I think that's a Cups card. Nope. Queen of Pentacles. Adjustments are required. Feminines, continue. Okay, this I understand. This is such a clearer reading than what I was receiving like 2 days ago, which was, the messages were interesting, but you guys really seem to love the Divine Feminine Power message because it got a lot of views. So thank you for that. And I will continue delivering those Divine Feminine Power messages because I want everyone to look at this from the inner perspective of the inner Divine Feminine, the inner Divine Masculine, and then from there to be able to move solidly to the outer connection that you have to your counterpart or to yourself. So Queen of Pentacles represents a solid, stable life that this queen has created. She surrounds herself, yes, with luxury, with abundance, but not just, as I've said before, with the Queen and King of Pentacles. This is not just about financial abundance. This is about abundance on every single level. She's thoughtful. She's an earthy queen. She's thoughtful. She's committed. She's grounded in her earthly life. So the feminines have really been working on the past, I'd say 4 months or so solidly, this whole entire year, 2021, creating and grounding your physical life and understanding that what brings you success, what brings you joy is for you really tuning into and creating a beautiful life for yourself first and foremost. You know that if somebody doesn't want to be in your life, that they're allowed to choose not to be there, and you accept that now. So if you're masculine saying it's not the time, or they've walked away, or whatever the case, you're allowing that. You're no longer chasing after things, right? You've adjusted, you've made those adjustments. And what I feel like also is coming up with this is the union energy card for the twins, is that both of you are working on your physical realities, your physical lives, and your 3D. And in doing so, it doesn't leave a lot of time to focus on your connection necessarily right now. So, and I can feel some of you getting anxious with me saying that, or triggered. I know that my readings trigger, but I don't care, because I'm not here to just say what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear on this journey. And if it's triggering, so be it, because triggers heal us if we allow them, if we don't resist them and we don't repeat them. So if it triggers you, ask yourself, instead of getting angry at me or angry at the reading or your counterpart, ask yourself, why did that trigger me? She's telling me that my counterpart's not focused on me, that we're focused on our physical reality, but this is all leading you back home to each other, into union, into your connection. Everything is interconnected. Everything is intertwined on this journey. So there's really nothing to fear. Let go of the fear and deal with any challenges that are coming up in an understanding, warm, friendly, sensible manner. Okay, I really love the Queen and King of Pentacles. They are my favorite pair in the deck. You have the World. So adjustments are required. Yes, we know this. There's the completion of a cycle, twins. There's the completion that's happening right now. Something is ending so that something else can begin. These are the adjustments that are going on. So you have to just trust in what is occurring right now in your connection, even if it doesn't make sense, and even if it sort of feels like things, I've said this before recently, that things are going backwards. This is the path towards enlightenment. This is, the hero has reached the end of his journey, like Odysseus reaching the end of his journey, right? He conquered the sirens, right? Those alluring, I guess they were, I don't know what they were. They weren't human, but they were alluring beings with these angelic voices, but they ended up killing the sailors, right? So you had to hold on tightly to your convictions, to your faith, to your beliefs, and you had to not allow anything external to distract you. And that's what this journey is about. So I've been really going back to that, Homer's The Odyssey, Odysseus. So I think I'm going to end that there. I was going to move forward, but I think I'm going to end the reading there, guys. And I'm going to continue on. We'll have another reading over on Patreon this week for sure, probably actually today. I think I'm going to do a continuation of this reading over there. So I'm wishing you guys a beautiful, beautiful day. Understand that this is a new cycle, that let go of what needs to be let go of, adjust what needs to be adjusted, and understand that beautiful things are happening in your physical reality. Take great care, guys, and I'll see you soon.